Hey now, here we go. We're here for another episode of the Streamers Hub. I am DJ Strict, the Stream Guy, and I am here for you today. So I don't know what you're doing or where you're at. I need your help. Please tell everybody you know. The Streamers Hub is on Central 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. My time here in I said Central Standard Time, where I'm at. It could be the East Coast, where it's 7 p.m., or you could be overseas, where it's, what's that, 2 o'clock in the morning in some places. Wherever you are and you're watching this, please let us know. Now, I'm going to do some housekeeping really quick because I want to be able to see everywhere that we are, at least be able to go in between some things to make sure that I can see comments. So I'm going to use my phone really quick to bring up the community because I want to see what's going on in the community just in case there are people there that are locked in into what we are doing. And am I seeing the stream? There we go. There we go. And let me click here and turn down the volume. So if anybody goes there, I will be able to hear it and see it. And I also want to go into the community here. Let's go to Facebook here. I'm using a couple of different ways to be able to see all of the comments just in case you guys are there. And I also want to check in my live event here. All right. So today in America, of course, is Memorial Day, and a lot of people have been out or are, way for us to kind of remember the people that served the United States through the military. But more importantly, as we remember those people, it's also a chance for us to kind of get together. A lot of people like to barbecue during this time, so to get with friends and family and cook and just kind of take the day off, remembering and also enjoying each other. So no matter where you are in the world, I hope that you are enjoying yourself and that you are enjoying others, all right, during this time, because it's just so important for us to be able to, in every way that we can, enjoy each other. And right now, I'm enjoying the opportunity to be able to stream to you guys. And my prayer is that we learned something today. So today, we're going to be talking about the best video setting for your recorded stream. And I really want to just dive into this because I think it's important for us to go ahead and initiate this conversation early on. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, then you can just put them in the comments. I will have some questions toward the end. I will definitely make time for your questions, okay? We definitely want to have an opportunity to answer any questions that you may have in regards to video settings, because this could be a tough thing. You ever been working with Restream and you've taken all the time to edit your video? Oh man, your video is perfect, whether you're using Premiere Pro, Final Cut, whatever video software you're using to make sure your pre-recorded video is just awesome, right? You've done that. And you plug it into the system and it gives you that caution alert, the orange caution alert. And it's telling you your bit rate is off. It's telling you that the file is not in the format that it needs to be in for optimal use. It's kind of like a caution, and it says that you're able to use this if you want, but it may make more sense for you to try it again or to reformat your video to fit inside of these parameters. Well, we're going to go over those parameters today so that you have all the information you need to be the best. And when I say the best, I mean, I want you to be the very best when it comes to using the system. Okay. Making sure, am I signed out of all of my stuff here? All right. First things first. let's get right to it because I feel like I've been juggling enough over here. Now it's time to do some work. You guys are with me, and I want to get started. First things first, when it comes to what we want to do as far as our video setting, of course, I want to go to my iPad here, and my iPad is not connected. So let's be sure we get that connected into the system here. Okay. Are we broadcasting? We're still broadcasting here. iPad is up. I'm able to switch. Yeah, I should be seeing it. There we go. This is what I want you to see. Now we're up and going. So the Streamers Hub, of course, today's message or what we're talking about today is the best video settings for recorded videos, how to convert video bitrate. So we're going to go through all of that, all right? But I want to start with the recommendations for our best video settings, okay? So here are our recommendations for the best video settings. So the format that OneStream Live needs to be in is MP4. Now, it takes MOV, which I use a lot. It takes M4V, WebM, and MKV. Now, these files, again, it takes those, but the recommended file format is MP4. I need you to know that, okay? That's going to reduce, again, the chances or the times that you will actually have one of those caution things to come up. All right, you won't have the caution thing to come up if you're using that format MP4. Does everybody get that? That's really, really simple. That's step number one. All right, step two. What do we want to know in step two? Step two is the codecs, okay? So we're using, and this was, I want to say that it was kind of like made famous with YouTube H.264, that format that you use. So if you're in Final Cut, if you're in Premiere Pro, is going to ask you what kind of format do you want to have this in. This is the highest quality, but also smaller files. All right. It's probably about 5 years old now, this technology. And basically you're able to get the highest quality in the smallest format using H.264. All right. I want you to remember that because that's going to help you later on as you go through this. The next thing I want to talk about is frames per second. The max with OneStream Live is 30. Okay. Now we're talking about what's the best settings for OneStream Live. All right. There are other settings, of course, but we're talking about the best for OneStream Live for pre-recorded video. All right. And the best for pre-recorded video with OneStream Live is a max of 30 frames per second. Okay. Does everybody get that? I want to be sure you got it. I want to be sure you got it. Okay. And I think we have that. So if you made a note of that, I am going to move on. And for the next one, video duration, like the time that you actually use this, like how long and all of that, there you go. It's at least 1 minute and up to 8 hours, depending on your plan or subscription. All right, everybody's good. So if whatever your plan or subscription is, please don't do a 30-second video pre-recorded. It's not going to work. All right, you good with that? A 30-second is not going to work with pre-recorded video. It needs to be at least a minute, and you can go up to 8 hours in one video file. Excuse me. Let me not say that. You're actually able to, you could do, depending on how you have your files done, okay? Depending on how you have your files done, because remember, these files are also can be put in playlist. They depending on how you have your clouds integration for storage done, or even if you have space inside of OneStream, if you pay for extra space inside of OneStream, if you're able to really compress that thing, you could do up to 8 hours. All right, everybody get that? And I just opened up so much other stuff. There we go. So next thing here, how you actually use it with the orientation with landscape, portrait, or square. You can do it in any setting that you want to. All right. So if you want it in the real style, there is a way to do that. These are just recommendations. You can do a combination, not combination, one of the other per video. I want to be sure I said that right. I want you to think that you can have some of it in landscape and some of it in the portrait. You can, but it's all going to be, in one format once you set it. All right. You can have some vertical parts of it with a background or something like that, but it's going to be either square, portrait, or landscape. Please hear me when I say that, because I think I may have said that wrong. You don't want to mix it. It's not a combination. It's either landscape, portrait, or square. All right, we got it. Now, again, we're talking about the recommendations. What are the recommendations for the best quality recorded video? And your audio rates is 128 kilobits here. It's really, really simple. That's a very, very great quality sound you're going to have at 128. You should not worry about whether it sounds bad at this speed. You're going to be just fine. I think below that is maybe like 92, 93, and then there's a 64. You're right where you want to be at 128. That is a great sound that OneStream is allowing you to carry through the system. So again, absolutely no worries. All right? No worries at all. So let's go. We've talked about this. Okay, now video bit rates. We are finally here to talk about the bit rate. So when it comes to your video bit rate, it's very similar to what you may be thinking about when you stream. And a lot of times you see it in megabits. I want to say that right, because there is a such thing as a megabytes. Here we have it in kilobytes. So it's really 1,500 kilobytes is really like, I want to say a roundabout number, 1.5 megabytes or 6 megabytes. All right. So, and these speeds are different from megabits, like uploads and download speeds. That's megabits. These megabytes is like the video file format, the information that's being sent. All right. You want to be careful. I have in the past done more than 1,200 and the system have stopped me. So I've had to use other systems or go in and change my megabytes, lower it. That doesn't really lower your video quality. It lowers it a little bit, but not enough for you to really see the difference. It's still going to be 1080p, but the information is not going to be as much as. So I usually do about somewhere about 10 megabytes. Okay. Wait. OneStream Live is actually telling you it's 1,500 kilobytes to 6,000 kilobytes. I want you guys to see that. This is the recommended bit rate for your videos. And we're going to talk about how to change that bit rate. If you're ever in a problem, your bit rate is higher than that, which will happen a lot of the times. Once you learn this and learn how to convert it, you shouldn't have a problem anymore. Okay. But I do want to be sure I explain that right. And if you have a 360 video, it is a little higher at 5,000 and 10,000. But I do want to be sure that above or below these bit rates, it is possible, but you may have your live stream unstable under certain conditions. Okay, so what they're saying is this is the recommended numbers that we have for your bit rate. If you go above or below those numbers, we're saying that it may play well, but it also may make it unstable. And you want to be sure you're doing all you can to have the best quality video play to where it's not unstable. I've had an unstable video play before, and it's not fun. When you got it pre-recorded, it should be automatic, and it's not automatic. Whether you're seeing glitches or anything like that, if you have it in the right parameters that we're talking about today in your video settings, you should be just fine. Okay. And I want to stop right there because I know I want to talk about some other things coming up next, but I want to be sure I'm not missing anybody or any comments, whether you are on our OneStream Live community. And I want to go full screen here because I'm going to come back to this presentation. OneStream Live community, or if you are on our YouTube channel. And I want to go to that YouTube channel just to be sure, because last time people was just chatty Cathy's inside of the YouTube channel, and I am so right. So Erica, how are you doing today? Thank you for hanging out with us. Monty Weaver, my guy, it was great seeing you this past week in Orlando. You did an awesome job at VidFest, sir, and it's great to know you. So definitely, and happy Memorial Day to you guys. And we want to be sure, and Fizz is there too, so hello. So we want to be sure that you guys have the very best. All right, I want you to hear me when I say this, the very best experience with OneStream Live. And one of the ways that you can have the best experience is knowing where your video settings need to be. So if you have any questions, again, you can throw those questions into the chat. Again, whether that's on YouTube or inside of our community, OneStream Live community, or the OneStream Live Facebook group. And I want to check the the actual page. So our Facebook page, I want to be sure that I see it there as well, because I want to miss you. Like, why should I miss you? I want to be sure that we are talking together and seeing each other all in the same place. So I'm willing to stop in the middle of what I'm doing to be sure of that. And here we go. We're live. I do have comments in here. Eva's in here, and she has a question. So I want to be sure to get to this real quick. Can we live stream 24/7? That is a very good question, Eva. You can live stream 24/7. You have to use the playlist to be able to do it. So each stream is up to 8 hours. Now, there are some third-party apps that you can use with OneStream to help you do that. But inside of OneStream, like solely by itself, OneStream, depending on the subscription that you have, I know it's with the Pro, you get up to 8 hours for one stream. So you just have to duplicate that hour or the other videos and schedule them out. So this one video streams for 8 hours, and then you can just duplicate that. What is that? 4 times, 3 times? You guys do the math. Y'all know what it is. I think it's 4 times. I think I'm right. 3 times. 3 times. So 4 times. You know what I'm saying. That gets you to 24 hours. Yes, Eva said the small b is megabytes and bits, and the capital B is megabytes. So M, lowercase m, lowercase b, and then an S, that is bytes. Lowercase m, capital B. Let me start over. Lowercase m, lowercase b is the bits. Lowercase m, capital B is bytes. Okay? That can be really confusing because sometimes they're used interchangeably, like people that don't know, and it's really about data and the size. So the megabytes is the size of the information inside of your video. The bits is what you're streaming, the upload and download speeds. I'll say that again. Lowercase m, lowercase b, s is the megabits, and that's your upload and download speeds. The bytes, lowercase m, capital B, it is for your the size of the information per second inside of that video that you're streaming. And it's important to know the difference, because when we talk about the caution that you have on your bit rate on a recorded video is different from your upload and download speeds. So we're just talking about the information that you have in your video for pre-recorded, that is the bytes. And if your bytes are too high, that's the caution that you are getting when you pre-record the video, you load it up, the system is telling you, hey, you have a caution here, there's an alert that the information is too large for us to have a stable video stream. All right. So it said, hey, you can do it, but we recommend that you lower it. Of course, I had, because of time, you know, how long it takes to render a video. Oh my goodness. Rendering video, you know, in some cases could almost be minute for minute. And if you've done that already, and you're ready to go, and you don't have, you know, another 30 minutes or another hour to wait on your video to render, and then load it up to your cloud source, and then load it into OneStream Live. Sometimes you could be in a real, you have to make a decision whether I would just chance the unstable video going forward or not. I had to make that choice before. I'm just being straight up and honest with you. Personally had to make that choice. It gave me the caution of the recommendation and went through. I'm not telling you to do that, because if it may have gone through for me, but on you, it may not go through as far as having a great stable video stream, because you've recorded it, you've done all you can do, you got all the bells and whistles on it. In the file sizes, the bytes are just too large, and the system is asking you to make it smaller. My recommendation is that if you're doing recorded video, please give yourself enough time. If you have to go back and render it in a smaller format, smaller bit rate, that you have time to do that and still get your project ends, especially guys, if you're working with a client, How are you connecting iPad? Would love to know about it. So I actually use a system called Ecamm, and guys, I'm just taking a break to make sure that I got all of these questions answered, but I use Ecamm, and through a system called NDI from my iPad, I'm connecting it as a camera source inside of Ecamm, and I'm able to go through my slides through Canva. So these are like Canva slides, and I'm telling you all of my secrets. Like, guys, I'm giving you everything right here. When I actually set up and do my tutorials, have an iPad right here set up, ready to go, and I can just go through my slides through Canva, and it works perfectly. And of course, you see me down in the corner let me see, right here, you see me down in the corner actually talking while I go through these slides. It's really, really cool. That being said, I think I've got to it. If you have any other questions, please put them in the chat. And thank you, Eva, for those questions. This really does help. Other people may have those kind of questions and hadn't had an opportunity to ask, but there you go. All right. And David, man, I appreciate you coming through. Definitely thank you for being here to learn. He's over on the YouTube channel. So I think I got everybody. So let's continue. So the next thing I want to talk about is the normal resolution. So when we talk about Facebook, a lot of people want to do pre-recorded video in 4K. Like, I know I want to do pre-recorded video in 4K as well, but from a live streaming standpoint, Facebook is only going to give you 720p. YouTube is giving you 1080p, and then Twitch is doing 1080p as well. I know. Through OneStream Live, this is what some of our popular platforms are doing when it comes to resolution. They're going to take your video that Facebook is going to take a 1080p video and squeeze it down to 720p. That's going to happen. It is not OneStream, it's Facebook. All right. So you might as well make it easy on the system. 1080p. If it's one video, again, Facebook is going to make it smaller. It's one video. I recommend you doing that video pre-recorded at 1080p. I know you want it to be 4K, but it's not going to come across 4K on the other side. Okay, it's not going to come across. So I'm saying this to help you. Okay, this will help. So understand Facebook is 7. You know, people have this question all the time. Well, why does YouTube, if you're looking at my screen here and you say, why does YouTube look better than Facebook when I have it on larger screens? You can tell, well, YouTube is 1080p and Facebook is 720p. It's really that simple. It's the resolution. Now they have their own servers. They're trying to accommodate so many people, all that stuff. They're trying to make space for all of the content that's on there. And YouTube is, I think they realize that people watch television on YouTube. And Facebook does have their video watch, but they're holding to that 720p. Okay, it is what it is. Again, that is not a one stream thing. That is clearly a Facebook thing. Okay. All right, let's keep going. So how do you convert to correct the formats? This is really a great question. And I want to first talk about, while I pull up the screen here so we can kind of go through it all, I first want to talk about Final Cut Pro, or if anyone uses Premiere Pro like me. I'm a Premiere Pro guy. I'm an Adobe Suite guy, okay? I use a lot of Adobe Suite stuff. So when it comes to what Adobe's doing, I am on it. And if I need to go into Adobe Premiere Pro, what I would do is load up my video. Then I would go to export. And when I go to export, I would scroll down, still put it in that H264, but I would scroll down to the bit rate, and normally it's at 20. I would take it down to 10. That's just how I do it, and everybody's different, all right? But I want to help you, because Premiere Pro, if you are not using it on a regular basis, if you're not editing Final Cut, you can do the same thing, how you export it. If you're not doing it on a regular basis, this could be a little much for you, okay? Could be a little much for you using those high dollar production tools and editing tools, because there's so many others. But we're looking at a way to correct or convert our bit rate. So one of the things that we're telling you guys that you can do, of course, is you can do Handbrake. All right. I don't know if you've ever used that before, but it's a really good one. And Safari just moved on me. So let's see if I can go full screen here. And here is steps to convert via Handbrake. Okay. Now this is something that's completely free for you to use. So all you have to do is just find it. Okay, free for you to use. And then there are steps that you can go by. And this is inside of our frequently asked questions. Okay, so I really want to help you. So in helping you, let's just do it this way. Let's just do it this way. I'm going to go to the dashboard because I want to start at the beginning. Here we go. So let me start at the dashboard. There's our dashboard, right? Let's just start in the beginning so you can know exactly where to go and what to do. So when I go down here to the frequently asked questions, I just want to find, right now I'm going to make it really simple and do Handbrake. And I'm putting that in the search bar. And it says how to encode video to correct format using Handbrake. And it gets us to this article. Like, I hope I'm helping you. Like, this is the real cheat sheet for you guys. Like, there's no way else I can explain this. This is the real, again, I say the real cheat sheet to you of how to do it, okay? So there you have it. And there are steps. Download and install Handbrake by choosing the version for your computer, All right. So once you do that, then you're able to go here. After installing, open Handbrake, open the source button to the left-hand side and choose your video file. All right. Click save new preset because you're trying to get to the new preset, and you have MP4 here. And the next is the portrait mode, and you're trying to get a name for it. Choose the preset for the preset section, and it's giving you all of the information here, step by step, of what you need to do. Okay. Under the summary tab, you can see the video thumbnail and a summary of the video settings on the left-hand side. All of that is here for you to see. Okay. It's got the preset of 780p, and I think this one is, it's got the frame rate connected to it and everything there. Okay. Click web optimization to optimize the videos for live streaming. And that's it, guys. Has a couple more steps. I'm sorry. And this is definitely where you have the encoding, the video encoding. Again, the H.264. And they're asking you to enter the bit rate as well. And all the boxes are here. So if any time after this presentation you say, hey, Strick, man, I don't really understand all of what you had just said, go to the dashboard, go to the frequently asked questions, and as you can tell, the steps are, I mean, it's right here. It's all lined up for you. Okay? It is all lined up for you. Now, if you're like me, I use Premiere Pro, and I know the same is done with Final Cut Pro. So you're able to export it, and you're able to change all of the settings in your export. All right. I don't care if it's 1080p. If you've been working on a 1080p video, you can actually change that video to 720p inside of the exporting. Like, it's really that simple with some of those other robust editing platforms you can use. Handbrake is one that you can actually convert. It's free to download, and you can put it on your computer, whether it's a Mac or a PC. You can download this and go through the steps and convert your videos all the time, if that's what you want to do. Now, I say if you're using pre-recorded video, how are you producing that video? If you're producing that video in Final Cut Pro, if you're producing that video in Premiere Pro, when you export that video, when you're ready to render and export the video, change the bit rate. It's all the way down to the bottom. There's a caption form there that says video, and it's normally at 20. I normally take it down to 10. I don't have any problems. Change your bit rate that way. Whatever platform you're using to edit your video, there's a way to change the bit rate. All right, for that video, and you want it to be under 12. Now that's going to be 12 megabytes. I have to remember which one it is, megabytes per second. Okay, and that's the recommended file size. So recommended is going to be 12,000 kilobytes per second. But I'm telling you now, the system is going to say 10 or 12. So I'm transferring those numbers to megabytes so you understand. All right. OneStream Live has them in kilobytes, which is a smaller value. Most of your video editing software are going to do the megabytes. Okay. I want you to hear me when I say that. They're going to use megabytes. So again, I have mine set at about 10, and it works perfectly. No problems at all. You guys have any questions about that? That's really, really heavy stuff. So whether you're using Handbrake to do it, or whether you are, whether you're using the editing software, you guys need to know, like, so that you don't get yourself caught up with it not being correct, or having the caution alert that your bit rate is not correct and not having the time to correct it, because that is a really big deal. That's happened to me before. I don't want it to happen to you. Okay. It's happened to me before. I don't want it to happen to you. And that is really important. So again, let me go back to the iPad here and how to convert it. I recommend, if you're using an editing software to build your video, inside of the editing software, there should be a way when you're exporting the file to change the bit rate. If you don't have that, there is a way for you to use Handbrake, which is free. Okay, it is free. That's good stuff. It's nice and heavy. I hope you guys got it. And now I want to see if there are any frequently asked questions when it comes to this. That's the next thing I want to do, is kind of go through those. And I want to stop and at least talk to you guys and be sure that you have it, because when we're talking about converting, when we're talking about the best settings, I've gone through them all, but I want to be sure you have it. All right. I don't want to leave here and you say, well, I didn't really understand this, or I didn't really understand that. I want to be sure you got it. Well, here we go. I think, from this point, you may have it. Nobody's saying anything. So guess what? I want to be sure that I give you all that I have. So from our frequently asked questions, let's go to the first one. Okay. What is the most recommended video bit rate? And of course, we've already talked about that. From OneStream Live, 1,500 kilobytes to 6,000 kilobytes. That's 1.5 to about 6 megabytes. Okay. I want you to get that. It's really, really simple. Why are there glitches in my pre-recorded streaming sometimes? So the glitches are going to come from the file size not being right inside of OneStream Live. They give you the caution. If you push the button through the recommended video files and sources and all of that, you could have glitches in your video. All right. And it really does depend on the video upload. When you upload it to OneStream, the video is corrupt at those. It may be corrupt somewhere in there, and that corruption is just coming out through the stream. So you want to be sure that what resolution is supported by OneStream Live. And of course, we've already talked about, we have 1080p that you're able to do pre-recorded video on. And of course, Facebook is 720p. YouTube is 1080p, and then Twitch is doing 1080p as well. Those are the resolutions that they actually take, but you're able to do up to 1080p with OneStream Live. Does the bit rate affect my video quality? So again, we want to be sure that you guys understand that there is a small, like when you change the bit rate and you make it smaller, you're making it so that you can stream through the servers and not have an issue. It will affect your video, but not enough for it to be visible to our naked eyes to see the difference. Does that make sense? Now, if you're going to go to the movie theater and you're going to watch the IMAX and it's huge, it's going to have 4K resolutions and the highest. Of course, they have the systems to be able to push that. Now we're going through the internet and everybody's internet is different. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have fiber yet here where I am. I'm waiting to get fiber. Fiber, you can get up to 500 up, 500 down, all this crazy stuff. But some people are still, getting 10 megabytes. Some people are doing like 200 up, like you see Spectrum's, like we can give you 200 megabytes. That is your download speed, but they never talk about what the upload speed for people like us that are uploading live streams to the internet. And the normal in our area is just 10. Like, I can't do 10. I needed to upgrade to 20. And 20 is still low when you think about problems or issues that you could have. And if I have 500, I promise you, my stream would be of the highest quality going out to the internet. Not saying that 20 is bad, because that's what I'm using now. And it comes across really well because I know how to compress my video and make sure even my live streams are set the right way so it's not affected across the social media platforms. Okay. Great question, though. Great question. And if you have questions, please put them in. I want to get back to them. Why is it important to give a 10-minute gap? So it helps the system. Like if you put in a pre-recorded video, you download it, and everything is going, we're asking that you give really 15 minutes before you set that video to go live. You're in there and it's 6 o'clock and you have just loaded the video, set the video to go live at 10:15. That's going to help the system make sure everything is set up and ready for you to go. So if things is not set up and ready to go and the system tries to go live, you can actually be hurting yourself by not having a great live pre-recorded stream just because you didn't give it an extra 5 minutes. Hear me when I say this. Sometimes it will go live, but if it ever glitches, what's more important? The 5 minutes potentially glitching, or just take the 15 minutes that the system is asking for to be sure that it goes live without any glitches. You have to make that decision for yourself. I've worked with clients that they wanted to stick to their time, and by the skin of our teeth, we were able to make it work. But if we give ourselves that extra time, it'll be a whole lot less anxiety, and the system is already telling you that it needs that time. So no one, like OneStream Live, is not at fault when you don't go by the parameters that it's asking for. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. So you say, well, I had a glitch. Well, did you do all of the steps? Well, no, I was able to do it before and I didn't have a problem, but clearly the system is telling you we need more than 5 minutes from when you actually upload the video to go live as a pre-recorded video. All right. Again, what are we asking for? At least 10 minutes. The system is asking for 15 minutes before you go live. So this is another good one. Is OneStream Live going to reduce our resolution if it is 4K? So the recommended size, again, is 1080p. All right. So yes, if the video resolution is higher than that, OneStream Live would automatically scale it down to 1080p to maximize the resolution supported by the system. Okay. Does that make sense? And of course, if you go to Facebook, Facebook is going to even make it smaller. They're going to scale it down to 720p to go through their network. All right. And the idea of what we're going through with all of this today is just to be sure that you understand I'm going to go back, get to the front of this. Just as a quick review, going through what are the best settings on my iPad here. What are the best settings for our video streaming and how to convert? We talked about that. Again, we want that format MP4. We would like to have H.264 as your codecs to it. The frame rate should be 30, a max of 30 frames per second. That's the max. So if someone is asking, can you use 24? The answer to that question is yes. Can we use 60? Again, you're going to get the caution. You're going to get the alert if you do 60. It's going to say, hey, this can potentially make the stream corrupted and unstable. That's not corrupted, but unstable. So it could go or it could not go. So what is it saying? The optimal, like the best way to use this, 30 frames per second. Video duration. I would love to do commercials. You know, everybody's doing the reels and the 30 seconds. We need your pre-recorded videos to be at least a minute. Okay. At least a minute. And you can use landscape, portrait, or square. And that's the size of your screen, whether it's horizontal, landscape, all of that. And then your audio should be at 128. The bit rate for the videos, again, 1,500 kilobytes, 6,000 kilobytes is the max for the bit rate. And then you have 360 videos. If you guys are doing 360 videos, let us know in the comments. I would really like to know who's doing 360 videos inside of OneStream Live. I mean, we have the feature. Who's using it? Are you the guys that's using it? I want to know that. Okay, so we got the formats for Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And I'm just going through this really, really fast and how to convert. You can use your editing software, and Handbrake is another way to convert. And that's absolutely free for you. And I want to end here with being sure that I go back to see if I can answer any questions. Gary Jones Jr., thank you for hanging out with us inside of the chat on our YouTube channel. Good to see you tonight. And again, David, good to see you. Monty Weaver and Erica, you guys were in there in the beginning saying hello. And I so appreciate the community that's building with OneStream Live. You guys, we are here to help each other. My job is to kind of be the voice of this, to help all of us use this great software at its optimal usage. All right. If we use it the right way, it is phenomenal. Okay. And if I had to say anything, not only is it phenomenal, but if you're using it and have not gotten into the affiliate program and shared this with somebody else, you're doing yourself a disservice as a content creator. We're always thinking about ways to monetize. Being an affiliate, all right, for OneStream Live is a way that you can monetize today. Okay, I just wanted to say that. That's just my commercial for today to help content creators. That, you know, is definitely one of those things to where we're all trying our best to be monetized. But if you put in the work, if you really put in the work, you would be great at this. Okay, so I want to be sure that I go back to the community, and that's the last place I want to go to see whether there's anybody in there talking with me today. And then we will be done. I don't want to miss a thing inside the community. It looks like everybody's good over there. I've explained this to the best of my ability today. And so you got the tutorial, you got the frequently asked questions. And if you had questions, I did stop in the middle today to talk to Eva about her questions. And we are here for you Monday nights, Central Standard Time at 6 p.m. Eastern is 7. Wherever you are in the world, guess what? I'm going to be here on Monday nights to help you through OneStream Live. There are some things that's coming down the pipe, and I might have to do some short videos inside of the community during the week. But on Monday nights, it's me and you. We're all in this thing together. So I am so grateful to you. I thank OneStream Live for the opportunity, and I hope this helps you about your video settings. Thank you so very much.